Dominant culture is for powerful people with power, and white people make other people think that black people are bad. So that's why black people don't have power.
Good morning, good evening, and welcome back to my courtroom. If you're new here, hello. Greetings, I'm Gaston the Ginger. What we do here is call out the blatant hypocrisy of politicians, the racism from critical theory, and the lack of brain power from the SJW woke left. On today's docket, we've got a 5th grade teacher indoctrinating her students. A great example of a company getting woke and going woke. Of course, we got social justice warriors on TikTok doing their thing and much, much more. With the power vested in me as supreme ginger of the land, let's get judging. I never know what to begin with, the funny or the disturbing, although the funny is only funny because it's disturbing, so I guess the particular order in this video does not really matter. First case on the docket. The case of the 5th grade teacher bragging about her students being successfully brainwashed. Trigger warning, you're about to see some racist 5th graders. Of course, it's not their fault. It's what they're taught in school. Check it out.
My name is Allison Dempsey. This year I'm teaching 5th grade social studies in Sunset Park, Brooklyn. Racist teaching and learning is upholding the systems and sort of like the classroom hierarchy. Inquiry-based learning challenges that model because the children guide the learning. So what are some racial differences that you've noticed around you? Who would like to share?
People are different, so they get treated based on how they look, and who decided that is the dominant culture.
What is the dominant culture? What does the dominant culture do?
They make people believe certain stereotypes about a certain group of people, not just blacks, but also browns or indigenous, anybody whose skin color is darker.
Dominant culture is for powerful people with power, and white people make other people think that black people are bad. So that's why black people don't have power.
If a white person kills a black person, they call it self-defense. But if a black person kills a white person, it says murder. That's how unfair black people's life is.
They actually knew it. They actually said everything.
The other day, I was having a very friendly debate with my family on whether or not I should send my hypothetical children to public or private school. The family was basically split on the issue, but this should serve as evidence that public school should not be an option. Of course, we are in Florida where Governor Ron DeSantis has banned this nonsense from our schools, so it doesn't really matter. 5th grade teacher, sentenced 2 years in jail, teaching license revoked, and she's not to be within 300 feet of the school. Case closed. Next case. Let's see. Yes. The man who claims that calling obese people obese is white supremacy and product of Western medicine. This has to be good. Ladies and gentlemen, grab your popcorn. Let's watch.
The obesity epidemic isn't real, and it shouldn't be an anti-capitalist talking point. When someone unironically references the obesity epidemic or even uses the word obesity, it tells me they really don't know what they're talking about when it comes to fatness. This use of the word obesity stems directly from the BMI, which was created by a eugenicist with no medical training who based the scale only on white bodies and cow math. Fatness is not an epidemic. Fat people existed before capitalism and before colonization. Fat phobia is a direct result of anti-blackness, and it has deadly consequences for many groups of indigenous folks and other people of color, as well as fat folks. When you make the obesity epidemic a real symptom of capitalism, you are not only ostracizing fat people from anti-capitalist thinking, but also actively ignoring that the health outcomes related to obesity are more accurately attributed to food deserts and fatphobic discrimination in healthcare. The obesity epidemic was created by Western medicine to avoid addressing the actual causes of health inequity, which is what we as anti-capitalists should be doing.
This one is really easy for me, and you may not agree. But then again, I hold supreme power, so it doesn't really matter. You see, I don't care about his Western medicine argument or his obesity argument. I don't care about anything he said, except for one thing. He's a communist. There's only one place for communists in America: the Gulag. Case closed. Life in prison. Next case on the docket is a little bit different. Business against business. Oil company is suing North Face, the clothing company, for refusing to provide them with jackets. You see, North Face's argument is that oil company is very, very, very bad for the world. Very bad. Therefore, they're not going to give them any jackets. In response, oil company made a video that pretty much destroyed North Face. Let's take a look.
I'm Chris Wright, CEO of Liberty Energy. North Face recently came out against my industry, even refusing to let one of my competitors put their company logo on a North Face jacket. I went through North Face's website of wide-ranging products, and I failed to find a single product that wasn't made out of oil and gas. The great majority of North Face's products, jackets, backpacks, outdoor pants, shirts, shoes, hats, etc., are dominantly made out of the oil and gas that we so proudly produce. Globally, 60% of all clothing fibers are made out of oil and gas. For North Face, it is likely 90% or more. So North Face is not only an extraordinary customer of the oil and gas industry, they are also a partner with the oil and gas industry. So thank you, North Face.
Oh, I see what happened here. North Face tried to virtue signal to the woke crowd. Hey, we're the good guys. We're the good guys. Buy our products. What ended up happening? They got destroyed in a viral video, because when you go woke, you get broke. When you get woke, you go broke. There you go. Of course, it's a huge company and they're not going to go broke, but it's going to have some type of backlash. The ruling on this case: no North Face product is to be sold on any ginger territories. Case closed. Our next case on the docket is some type of man boy being confused about lots of things. Check it out.
Hey man, did you hear? The CDC said we don't have to wear masks anymore if we're vaccinated, inside and out. But how else is everybody gonna know I'm not a Republican?
How will people know you're not a Republican? How about the color of your hair? I sentence you to 5 years in a re-education camp. At the end of the 5 years, I will decide whether or not you're ready to rejoin society. Case closed. Our last case on the docket is a very interesting one. C.J. Pearson, a young black man. Actually, the interesting part here is a black, white supremacist. Something like that. That's what I've been told. Who knows if it's true? Let's check it out.
You know, I was just sitting around thinking about how all of this critical race theory, people have been missing one critical point. Is critical race theory not the same exact thing white supremacists were literally trying to instill into black people a few years ago? That the color of our skin would dictate our future. It would keep us from being successful, because if you're black, you can't be smart. If you're black, you can't be successful. If you're black, you don't deserve any of those things. Critical race theory just teaches the same thing in reverse, that if you're black, you can't achieve because the world's going to keep you down, or the society won't let you, that because you're black, it's a disability. It's something that you'll have to overcome. But honestly, the chances of you overcoming aren't too likely. That is what critical race theory teaches young black people today. It teaches us despair. It teaches us victimhood. It teaches us that the skin color that we have is merely an accessory. It literally is the same beliefs that the KKK had, being taught in a way that is apparently supposed to be non-racist, supposed to be progressive. Guys, it was the KKK that told black people that because of the way they looked, they wouldn't ever accomplish a single thing. Now, critical race theories in the name of being woke are telling our young people the same exact thing. Guys, I'm 18 years old, I'm black, I'm a college student. The last thing I want to learn is critical race theory. I don't want to learn how to be a victim. I don't want to learn that the world is out to get me, that I won't be able to be successful or achieve anything in the world. I just want to learn how to achieve. I want to be successful. Stop teaching me to be a victim and teach me how to win. That's the message that we should be teaching in our colleges and K through 12. That's what we should be teaching young people. Not how to allow a so-called system to get the best of them. Not telling them that regardless of how hard they work, they'll never be a damn thing just because of the way they look. That's what Klansmen said. Klansmen. And so you have to ask yourself, you critical race theory people, why do you feel so comfortable and so honored and so excited to literally be on the side of people that were white supremacists just a few decades ago?
Thank God this kid didn't have that 5th grade teacher. Can you imagine? This kid has it right. He does not want to partake in the victimhood Olympics. And that's why I know he's gonna succeed. My friend, I bestow upon you the highest honor I can bestow. The Medal of Ginger. Case closed. Before I leave you, I want to mention something about Twitter and Facebook. Something very ironic. You see, Twitter hit one of India's politicians' tweets as misinformation, as manipulated media. The Indian government didn't like this. Of course they didn't. So they raided the Twitter headquarters in India. And now Twitter's crying foul. Freedom of speech, freedom of expression is important. Oh, now it's important? We also have Nigeria, the Nigerian government locking down Twitter for the Nigerian citizens. And what's Twitter doing? They're crying, saying, access to the internet, access to Twitter is a human right. But is it? Nah, because Twitter bans people left and right, like maybe the ex-president of the United States while he was still president. Did he have the right to access Twitter? No? Oh, okay, cool. What about anyone who disagrees with the mainstream left? Do they have a chance? Milo, Alex Jones? I have a feeling Ben Shapiro and Steven Crowder are going to get banned soon. Me? No, I'm too small. But my opinions, they could get banned. But let's talk about Facebook for a little bit. Last year, Facebook was banning any posts that were about the Wuhan lab theory leak. The Wuhan lab leak. The virus escaped from the lab. And Facebook was banning all of that because Fauci said so. But now it appears that evidence is coming out that it indeed escaped from the lab. So Facebook is reversing its ban. Who made Facebook and Twitter the authorities on what we can and cannot discuss? This is a great example of why it should not be that way. Jack Dorsey, Mark Zuckerberg, life in prison, no access to the internet ever again. Thank you for watching. Like the video, subscribe, share, so more people could have access to my courtroom. Thank you for your time, and see you next time.